Hello everybody, this is the trio workshop on how to calendar. So jumping right in, there are two types of calendars, one of them being an online version, for example Google Calendar, or if you use an iPhone, there's the iCalendar that's on your phone. Some people like to keep things very basic, so you're just like, I need to know when I'm in class. My ASU actually has this version. This is a screenshot of a My ASU calendar where students are blocked, the calendar already blocked off when you're in class. Maybe that's all you need, so you're good to go there. That's in your My ASU. And it does transfer to Google Calendar and to anything Apple related as well. How to improve your online and or Google Calendar. If you look on your far left, you can see there are a whole bunch of colors in that first column. So the goal of that side of the screen is somebody that needs to plan out every hour or so of their day, everything that they're doing from when they wake up and or maybe their first class till the end of the day when they decide to go to bed. So for example, they went to class, then they had a big chunk of 2 hours at work, they decided to take a lunch break, and then for the next 3 hours they were in the trio office. They planned their travel time because they don't live on campus. They had dinner, and then for the next couple hours they worked on homework. They even scheduled a break in between. They did bio, then math, scheduled a break, and then worked on their English paper, and then finally decided to shower and unwind around 9:30, 10:30 at night. So realistically, sometimes these may not be feasible, but the great thing is that they're not in stone. So for example, during their trio hours when they were here from 1 to 4 p.m., maybe they got all of their bio homework done, but they scheduled bio homework from 6 to 7 o'clock at night when they were home. You can either decide to continue doing bio, maybe get ahead for an hour, maybe review some things if you have an exam coming up. Actually, in this scenario, the bio exam is the next day. So maybe they just do a review for an hour, and or it can be deleted, and maybe you do homework, math homework for 2 hours. So the good thing about online is that these are all easily movable, deletable. You can color coordinate it, so it's a lot more easy access. If you look towards the middle to the right hand side, you can see there's very few things scheduled. And that again goes towards people who maybe know that the same exact time every day, or they just want to make sure key things are planned out, like making sure they do eat, but they know they're busy all day, so they're taking a late lunch from 3 to 4 versus their regular lunch from 12 to 1, or that they have any exams due or papers due. The color coordination is totally up to you. It's whatever makes sense to you. In this scenario, I made work green because that's when I'm earning my money. Any exams or papers due, I did in red to draw attention to it. But for example, in this scenario, I could switch to where at work, I could make work purple and trio green because my favorite color is green. So when I'm doing something I like, I want to highlight it in green versus in red. So it's totally up to you. Tips and tricks for online Google calendaring. So set up auto/reoccur, same events that never change. For example, your classes that are on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays from 9 to 10:30. Just set the reoccurrence and it does it for you versus having to write it out 3 times every week. You can set alarms to go off for an hour to 30 minutes beforehand before the event. So if you have an exam coming up and you want to make sure you get to your class on time, maybe you want to schedule a 30-minute reminder, that way you have time to walk to class. You can set alarms days in advance. So for example, if you have a paper due on Friday, on Tuesday, you can set the reminder to go off. Bullet number 4 is totally optional. Again, it goes back, I'll go back here to that first column where you want to schedule everything. That is totally optional. There's no right or wrong answer to this, but for some of us that need a little bit more guidance, you may want to schedule everything from your breaks, when you're going to have TV time, events you want to attend that are on or off campus, your exam dates, your class schedule, all of it. Again, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. If you're able to, color coordinate. So use different colors for everything. Again, I'm going to go back to my example. Everything that I had done for the first day had a different color associated with it. Google Calendar definitely gives you the option, and they give you lots of different colors. But even if you buy like colored pencils or something, you can do it that way as well. If you are colorblind and cannot see colors, I recommend using designs, for example, strike-throughs, bubbles, flowers, squares, circles, use shapes, things like that to distinguish the different activities you're doing. And then last but not least, give yourself time in advance. So schedule all of this if you have time today or while you're reviewing this presentation to pull out your syllabi and schedule all your due dates in advance, all your reminders when you're in class, and so on. That way, at least the bare bones of what you're doing almost on a regular basis is scheduled. Then you have your physical calendars. Trio has provided you, hopefully, with a calendar. If not, visit the Trio office. Hopefully, we will still have some more for you. We are providing free calendars for you this year. So it kind of has an ASU logo in the front. You have a monthly view and a daily/weekly view. So what would you use the whole month view for? So you want to use that for very vague reminders. So that's more like big due dates, big reminders, holidays, things that are super important to you. So that could even mean like a birthday, somebody's birthday, whether it's your mom, dad's, guardians, sisters, cousins, whoever, your roommates, and any personal appointments that you have. So for example, if you have a doctor's appointment, things like that. So anything you deem important that you just need to know, hey, in a couple weeks, this is going to be happening. The daily view/weekly view. At least if you have the ASU version, the cool thing about it that I like is up on the top left next to the pitchfork is a things to do list. So they already provide you a space where you can write out a couple things that you need to get done throughout the week. But when you go down to the daily view version, they're full blank. There's no lines or anything. Some people like this, some people don't. You can either write the lines in yourself if you need a little bit more guidance, or you can leave it blank just so you can write things out. But this is where you go into more detail. So you wouldn't just say paper 1 due today. You would put specifically what the paper had to be about, maybe when it's due or when you want to get it done. Maybe it's not due till midnight, but we're not going to submit it at 11:59. We're hopefully going to get it done by 8 o'clock because you have other assignments due later that day as well, that you want to get this done ahead of time. And then again, for your day-to-day, what you're actually doing on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so forth, what you're doing on the daily is what goes in your daily view. So when you're in class, when you're not in class, what you're doing, more detailed information for the daily view. Finally, some other cool and useful tools that you can use for calendaring is highlighters. Maybe you cannot afford to get a whole bunch of different color pens and pencils. They tend to be on a little bit more of the expensive side. So you can use a black pen or a blue pen for all of the information, but maybe some way that you distinguish some important things is by the different color highlighters that you have. Another way to use these resources are sticky notes. So maybe you want to separate your personal life from your academic, but instead of having 2 planners, you know that normally your personal life isn't too hectic, it's more on a routine basis, but every once in a while, again, for example, a doctor's appointment, it's not necessarily the most routine thing, other than once every blue moon, you may have to have a checkup. You may just put a sticky note on the month of August or September, whenever it is, like doctor's appointment on this day and this time. ASU's calendar does provide stickers, but you can go to Walmart, Target, wherever you can find online, all the different stickers available to you. They don't have to be emojis, but they can be whatever you want. Use stickers to set reminders. That way you just know that sticker is associated with something. For example, the little mean face, I would probably associate with something is due that day, versus the one with the glasses is probably my study time. Maybe the one with the sunglasses is more my relaxing time, and so on and so forth. And then again, if you can, use color pens and pencils for your different activities, so that way you just know that green means you're at work, blue means you're in class, red means something due. I mean, the color coordination is totally up to you, but that way your eye already distinguishes what you're doing that day just by the colors. And then practice on your own. I have used social media to use this to show friends that, hey, if you don't see me, I am busy. My quote in here is, I'm not even in school and my schedule is still crazy. So this was after graduate school. I still use a planner to this day. So you can use it to the best of your abilities, but the key thing is, and you can make it as customizable as you want, but the key thing is that you need to use it. You need to actually open it, write in it, whether it's online or a physical book, just to make sure that you're reminding yourself of what is due or what's coming up, so that way you can better plan. The best part is none of this is in stone, so you can adjust, you can accommodate. There are colored pencils, so if you're like, well, I don't want to write in pen because then I have to scratch it out or use whiteout, etc., you can use pencils. Again, it's totally up to you, but the key thing is that you have to use it in order to be successful. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Reminder to submit 1 paragraph to your TRIO coordinator stating which workshop you watched, and let us know what you learned. Thanks.